Hey, Brass Facts here. This is my review of the adjustable Bootleg BCG. This is a toolless way to tune your DI AR-15 without the use of an adjustable gas block. By simply turning the dial, you can choose from one of 4 different settings, 2 unsuppressed and 2 suppressed settings, which can be accessed while the bolt is still in the rifle. No need to remove the BCG. Well, technically the same amount of gas is coming back towards the BCG. Changing this allows you to delay the action. This slows down the cyclic rate, increases dwell time, increases recoil time, all of which are basically different names for the same thing, which make for a much lower recoiling rifle, smoother shooting, reduced wear on parts, and increased reliability on overgassed systems, specifically suppressed rifles. Gas blowback is also seriously reduced, no eye-watering effect, and less gug flinging out of the chamber, which is kind of nice for me, especially as a lefty. I found, aside from my rifle-length ARs, this is one of the smoothest shooting rifles I have by a pretty big margin, even versus factory mid-lengths such as Sons of Liberty Gunworks or BCM. Real quick, here's a comparison of a mil-spec Aero BCG and the bootleg on the suppressed setting. For the first, I kinda just let the gun recoil without driving it back down. Next up, how fast could I shoot 5 rounds onto a steel target? If you noticed, I shot noticeably faster with the bootleg and managed to actually squeeze in an extra shot by accident. I shot 6 instead of 5. As a final aside, to emphasize the effect of this adjustability, it may not be obvious on film, but this is the first time I've actually run a short suppressed gun with a mil-spec BCG in a long time. I kind of forgot how much the adjustments did. After shooting about 30 rounds, my eyes were watering from all the gas blowback, and the recoil reduction that I gained was much more than I recalled. Anyways, I've tested the first 500 rounds or so with brass on the full suppressed setting, but since I train exclusively with underpowered Tula or Wolf, I've just decided to leave it at 3/4 for the convenience during training, and give me a little more gas for adverse condition, as my rifle often gets covered in sand and is generally quite dry due to being suppressed. A good prelim test to check for function is to load 1 round and see if the bolt locks to the rear, much like figuring out which buffer weight to use. Once the rifle does not consistently lock to the rear, move up 1 setting. You can also check where your brass ejects when shooting strings of fire to see if it's overgassed or undergassed. Ultimately, that's about it. That's the best thing about this BCG. I just threw it in my rifle, did 5 minutes of testing, and I was good to go. It's basically just a mil-spec BCG with an added adjustment. The bolt is mil-spec, and most of the carrier is also mil-spec. It works in full auto, and it's plug and play. And with the price of $200, it's basically on par with other quality BCGs in terms of pricing. You can occasionally even snag a BLEM or T&E version for about $100. If you run your rifle at all suppressed and don't have an adjustable system, this is seriously worth considering. Hey, that's been some Brass Facts for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe if you like this content. Let me know what you want to see, and perhaps I'll get to it. And see you guys around. Stay safe.